Hello, everybody. We're going to talk now about advanced participant settings. So, in those settings, you can remove participants to the waiting room. You can rename individual participants yourself as the host. You can allow participants to rename themselves. You can change the enter exit chime to not happen, enable the waiting room, and lock meeting. Let's go talk about all those and see what they do. So, to do this, you got to have your participants menu or window open, which is participants. And then I always have my chat open as well. I think it's probably good practice just to be in that habit. I also never use full screen because that actually makes these into floating menus on top of the screen and it can get in the way. So to find the features for the participants list, the participants window at the very bottom of it is a little dot, dot, dot button, and that has all the different things in it. So one nice thing you might want to do is mute participants upon entry. So if you have this clicked as kids join the class, they'll join muted. So you've probably been part of a bunch of Zoom meetings too, where a bunch of people join and their microphone's on, but they can't really tell, and all of a sudden dogs are barking and the whole thing is chaotic. So that's something that you can control as the host to say everybody shows up muted and they feel free to unmute at any time. An easy way to unmute is just to hold the space bar down. It's like a walkie-talkie. As long as you're holding the space bar, you're unmuted. When you let go, you remute. So instead of trying to find the mouse and get on that button and click it, you can just use the space bar. Super easy and nice. Allow participants to unmute themselves for like Dr. Evans's big talks. She doesn't want people jumping in and asking questions and interrupting. So you can turn this off and then participants will not be able to unmute themselves. So they're locked in mute. Allow participants to rename themselves. So that's just like it says, that kids can come in, they can change their own name that's listed up here in the participants list. You can turn that on, let them do the renaming, and then you can lock that by unchecking it again, and then they won't be able to go back and change it again. So one thing that I'm going to do is if I let them rename, I'll go through, I'll lock it, and then I can go through. If anybody's done anything inappropriate, I can change their name manually back to something that's a more reasonable name, and then they won't be able to rechange it if I uncheck that. Play enter exit chime. So I noticed in a bunch of Jack's meetings that you can always tell when people are showing because it's like ding, 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 ding as people pop in. So you can get rid of that for everybody if you want to, or have that going. Enable waiting room. So that's that place where you go to first and you get to see the screen saying you'll be let in soon. And then lock meeting. You can lock a meeting. If you click that, that means anyone that's not currently in the meeting or on your participant list cannot get into the meeting. But if someone who is in your meeting falls off your list, they can still get back in the meeting because they were already on the list. So I don't know why would you want to use that? Because the kids showed up late, they wouldn't be able to get in because the class is locked. It'd be like locking your classroom door, but maybe there is something I'm not seeing. Well, that's it for advanced features. They're fun, excuse me. They're fun, so feel free to play with them.